Hello everyone and welcome back to another video on my channel. I'm Octopus, and today we are gonna talk about the Hindenburg, one of the most power-crept cruiser at tier 10 in my opinion. But first thing first guys, if you find these kind of videos informative or interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel in order to support me as video content creator. So, the Hindenburg, a German heavy cruiser, tier 10, one of the oldest cruisers added to the game. With the full concealment build, you can reach up to 12.6 kilometers of spotting range, which is okay, I would say. It was recently buffed in the Hindenburg in the sense that they gave the Hindenburg back. Its base reload. So with the reload mode on the last upgrade, you can reach up to 8.6 seconds of reload, which is pretty impressive considering that you have 4 triple turrets with 203s. So a broadside to not be underestimated. Of course, the power of the Hindenburg are DAP, but also the HE are not to be underestimated, as we are gonna see in this specific match. Speed, with speed flag you can reach up to 33.1 knots, so nothing really impressive. Also, maneuverability of Hindenburg is not really impressive either with the turn circle radius. So Hindenburg is quite a clumsy cruiser. I mean, not as clumsy as Moskva, for example, but you're not agile by any means. The default range of your gun is 17.8 kilometers, which is enough in my opinion. But of course, you can run the spotter plane consumable, so this will increase your range for 20%. It means that you can reach up to more than 20 kilometers of range, especially with my build with the spotter plane mod on the first lot. This consumable can last for a pretty long period of time. Here, as you can see, we switched to AP because this ZAO is giving us full broadside, and as you can see, we scored a citadel. We are a bit unlucky because it is only one citadel, because we could have had much better volley. Here, I'm not taking the enough lead. This salvo seems to be a little bit better. This ZAO, I'm not sure what he was thinking, and he's still giving us full broadside. And with the last volley, we should be able to take him down. This is our first blood. Of course, another feature of the Hindenburg is the German Hydro. You can spot up to 6 kilometers for the enemy ships, which is awesome. So as you can see here, we were more than able to spot these deep water torpedoes from the Yang. And yeah, Hindenburg is the roaming cruiser, a kiting cruiser, and nowadays it is not as tanky anymore because with all the high caliber BBs introduced at tier 10, all the 457s and Yamatos and Shikishimas, Musashis, I mean, angling in Hindenburg is more and more difficult. Yes, you have a turtleback that can give you some kind of survivability, especially at close range, but for medium to long range, if you give broadside, you can absolutely get citadel and devastated by even Montanas can citadel Hindenburgs from range. So don't expect to have a kind of turtleback like the German battleships. You are easily citadel even by cruisers from medium range if you give broadside, of course. You cannot be citadel from the front, but still, Hindenburg is not as tanky as it used to be because it has been power capped by all these high caliber bees, as I said. In this specific situation, this Ohio is not paying attention to us, so even if we are kind of in the middle of that flank, we can happily farm this Ohio because the fire chance of Hindenburg our Hindenburg guns is not bad. The HE Alpha is quite beautiful. We can take a closer look of these details at the end of the video, but you will find out yourself that German HE is not that good. I mean, it can be useful to start fires, of course, but generally speaking, German ships don't have powerful HE. One thing to keep in mind is that Hindenburg, as all the German cruisers, has 1/4 of penetration on the HE instead of 1/5. So in this sense, you are very useful to farm ships like Moskvas and Stalingrad, because your HE penetration is very good and it is quite enough to farm the jack armor of Stalingrad and Moscow without IFHE. So this is a big plus to keep in mind. Your HE alpha is not good, but your penetration is good. But once again, the very big plus for the Hindenburg is the AP. The AP have a very good alpha. The penetration is not that great on the AP, but the actual alpha on the AP is awesome. So whenever you see someone giving you broadside, especially at medium to close range, Hindenburg AP can be kind of, they can be absolutely scary even for battleships. So don't underestimate the broadside of a Hindenburg. Absolutely don't do it. In this match, as you can see, we have 3 BBs and 2 destroyers on this flank. So the enemy team has only this Yu Yang and the Kurfürst left. So I feel pretty useless here. I think my teammates are gonna be more than able to take care of the enemy Kurfürst, even if this remains to be seen, because relying on your teammates on World of Warships is a big bet, and most of the times I've been proved wrong in this sense, but whatever. Ideally, at least, these guys should be able to take care of this Kurfürst, but they seem to be struggling. On the other hand, you can see this Yamato, so and we happily go and farm this Yamato now. So, what is the role of the Hindenburgs nowadays? It is basically a niche in HE spammer, medium to long range HE spammer, and you can switch to AP whenever someone gives you broadside, as that Zhao in our early game did. But other than that, the pushing power of the Hindenburg, it is not really here anymore, or not that much, because as I said, a couple of years ago, Hindenburg was considered kind of a battle cruiser in this sense because of his tankiness back in the days, but nowadays, nah, not really anymore. Also here with a Citadel from the Yamato, as you can see, because I failed to angle. Also this rack of my Potato Yoshino buddy is not helping in this sense. We also hit one Citadel from the Hakuryu. This is another downside of playing Hindenburg. The AA is not really anything special, so you're much vulnerable to the new carriers. So playing Hindenburg is just it is not painful nowadays, but it is not more as enjoyable as it was like a couple of years ago. As I said, you can still have some space in randoms, but for example, in competitive play, you see very rarely Hindenburgs being used. Yes, if you are facing heavily focused setup like on Moskvas and Stalingrad, Hindenburg can have some space in this sense, but honestly speaking, nobody plays Hindenburg anymore. Even without carriers, Hindenburg has so little space. You fulfill the role of Zhao and Henry, but you have far better DPM than Zhao, but your HE alpha is not really that powerful. Your concealment is far worse than Zhao one. Henry is much more faster than you and much more maneuverable, and the range of Henry is much more. So I don't know. Here I take a shot from the other side of the map. That Yamato on the 10 line is shooting me. Okay, is shooting me from, I cannot even see the Yamato when she's firing. Can you see that Yamato in the sector of G10? She's shooting me with spotted plane and maybe even the range mode. Look at these shells. This is insane. I cannot even see the Yamato that is actually shooting at me. This is something very, very stupid in my opinion, but whatever. World of Warships in 2020 is made of snipers, basically. Snipers and campers, or maybe camping snipers, however you want to call it. So yeah, this is the kind of gameplay in which we are stuck in, and with this kind of meta, Hindenburg struggles very, very much. I mean, you can be a good long-range HE spammer, but you're not using the full potential of the Hindenburg. You have 4x4 torpedo launchers of 6 kilometers to brawl. You have a German turtleback to brawl, but brawling in a Hindenburg nowadays is so damn difficult. The playstyle of the ship is so limited. The potential of the ship has been so limited that I don't know. I don't feel like playing Hindenburg too much in randoms lately. As I said, if you want to spam HE from distance and then disengage, you go for Zao. If you want some fast flanking ships, you go for a Henry, for example. But this thing, I mean, don't get me wrong, I love playing Hindenburg and I still like this ship, but I wouldn't recommend playing Hindenburg neither in randoms or in any sort of competitive play. In this sense, you can see we are using our spotted plane to farm this Yamato, and this is what we have to do lately in this game. This is exactly what we have to do: kite, dodge, and hope for the best, basically. If you are not facing carriers, your gameplay is going to be much more enjoyable. Who would have thought that without a carrier, a roaming cruiser and flanking cruiser, it would have been more enjoyable to play? But I know this sounds strange, but it is like that. Since Hindenburg, like Zao and other roaming cruiser and flanking stuff, are heavily affected by carrier spotting. But yeah, this is a common issue with a ton of cruisers that, I mean, apparently Wargaming is refusing to acknowledge this thing in randoms as well, but whatever, this is not the purpose of this video. So speaking of the match, we racked up 180k damage so far, which is not bad. Wither and a first blood, 3 citadels, but as you can see, the carry potential of the Hindenburg is simply not here anymore, because we are forced to just spam HE, and yeah, we can have a high average damage for ourselves, but is that really helping our team? Yeah, in a sense it is, but in another sense it is not, because as you can see, these guys that were on A flank, on the A flank, completely failed to achieve anything. They all died basically, and they got the curse first in return, but they all died trying to do something. So the other flank completely collapsed, and now we are left, I mean, basically alone with these 2 destroyers and the carrier, and now we will be the primary target of all the remaining ships of the enemy team. And yeah, this is what is Hindenburg anymore nowadays. A kind of a sad experience for the one of us that played Hindenburg in the past, but yeah, I can't really recommend this ship anymore. Here I make a crucial mistake of not checking if this Yamato shot. As you can see, the Yamato shot me in the back of the ship and to a citadel, so never do that. This was a big mistake from me and I got punished for it. So we can go to the battle end results. This battle is gonna last a little bit too much, because our carrier is just gonna run till the end of the map, and they are gonna win by points or by time. I'm not sure. I just exit the battle. I didn't want to lose much more time with this. So these are the final results: 212k damage, 13 fires, 3 citadels, 12 defended captures, 3 kills, arsonist, wither, and first blood. 1.8k basic XP on a loss, which is quite good in terms of XP wise. Yeah, you can tell that if I didn't potato that last turn, I might have been able to do even more. Of course, this is entirely true. But you know, I still don't think that I will be, that I would have been remotely able to even try to win this match. Absolutely not, because of my team was like really special. But you know, nowadays we see these teams made of potatoes more and more and more. So, detail report, as you can see, the vast majority of the damage came from spamming the Yamato and the Ohio. So, and also that potatoes out that gave us some free citadels at the very start. But other than that, we weren't able to do much more. 1.3 million potential damage. This could have been much more if I didn't eat those two citadels from the Yamato, the early one and the last volley. But yeah, this damage can be much more. As you can see, we didn't tank too much due to my, I failed in tanking and dodging pretty much in this match. Fires, 13 fires for 86k, so not bad. Usually you want to have much more AP damage in a Hindenburg, but in this specific match, we were not really able to use our AP. Apart from that Sao, all the other stuff that we did in this game was spamming HE. And this shouldn't be the primary role of Hindenburg, but nowadays it is what it is. Credit-wise, 500,000 credits with some modifiers as well. So not bad as credit earnings, but once again, Hindenburg is a silver ship, so credit earnings are, they can be satisfying, but do not expect anything special. So this is our Hindenburg. Let's start with the upgrades and consumables. Here you want to slot your German Hydro, as you can see. 6 kilometers detection of ships and 4 for torpedoes, so very powerful in this sense. So use Hydro. Defensive AA is useless nowadays. Here you have the option to pick the fighter or the spotting aircraft. Go for spotting aircraft. The fighter doesn't give you any kind of benefit, while the spotting aircraft gives you 20% more range, and especially with my build it is quite useful. Upgrades, as you can see here, I'm running spotting aircraft modification 1 for extra duration of the consumable. If you don't have this call upgrade, go for main armament modification 1 to preserve both your main batteries and your torpedo tubes, because if it happens to you to get in a close range in a brawl, you are more than able to devastate almost anything with your 4x4 torpedo launchers. So absolutely, we want to preserve these torpedoes and this YOLO potential. Next, Hydro duration. We said that Hydro is one of the best consumables of Hindenburg, so you want to enhance the duration of this consumable. Once again, if you don't have this call upgrade, I don't know, you can go either for damage control system modification 1, but honestly speaking, maybe engine room protection, if you're kiting away and trying to dodge, might be more useful. Then I personally go for main battery modification 2 for better turret traverse, because with this build, turret traverse on Hindenburg is 20.7, which is okay. You can even go for aiming system modification 1 or torpedo tubes modification 1, not because of the torpedo speed, but because this upgrade gives you minus 40% of risk of incapacitation of your torpedo tubes. So I think this is very niche, but this and this can be taken quite easily. Here I go for steering gears modification 1. We spoke about the maneuverability of the Hindenburg. With this upgrade, my maneuverability is 9.7, which is nothing really special. As you can see, 800 meters of turn circle radius is not as bad as other cruisers, but it is not really great, considering that your maximum speed with flag is 30.1 knots. This turning in Hindenburg can be quite tricky, especially if you have people aiming at you, and as you just saw at the end of my battle, you can be caught and citadel pretty easy. Here, concealment, of course, I mean, you can say that you can go for steering gears modification too. Why not? I mean, if you want to be that troll guy that dodges AP from maximum range and spams HC from maximum range, you can go for this one. You give up concealment, yeah. I mean, if you want to try to give it a try, go for it. But honestly speaking, concealment is much more valuable in my opinion. Here, this is the legendary upgrade from Hindenburg. This is gonna be reworked, but whatever. This is completely useless. You don't die, as you just saw. You don't die in Hindenburg from fires or floodings. You die because of high caliber AP usually. So this is completely trash. Here, personally, I go for main battery modification on 3. I have a hard time saying that this is the best option here, because as you just saw, you tend to eat so much damage from the battleship AP. I mean, not even if you don't get Citadel, this ship is huge and you can eat a lot of AP penetrations regardless. So maybe gunfire control system modification 2 might be the best option to give you even more range. I know that plenty of players play Hindenburg with range instead of reload. I mean, this is up to you. I personally find the better DPM to be better, but I can see why many people go for this one. So this is entirely up to you, depending on your playstyle. If you are a very skilled player, or you're pretending you are a very skilled player in the Hindenburg, and you think that you can dodge most of the shells fired at you, you can go with this one. If you know that you are not that good in cruisers, and especially at high tiers, just go for the safe choice, go for more range, so you can play much more safer. Then, Captain, let's see. By the way, let me just show you that what we were talking about before. The HE penetration of the Hindenburg HE by default is 51 millimeters. So Moskva and Stalingrad deck armor is 50. So you are more than able to penetrate this part of even this part of the Moskva and Stalingrad. This is why Hindenburg was used when the Stalingrads were introduced in competitive play, just to farm these things. But yeah, nowadays I don't see Hindenburg being that useful. So now we were talking about the captain of the Hindenburg. I lost my Hindenburg. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, captain. My recommended build is priority target, adrenaline rush, superintendent, concealment expert. Then you can mix things. I mean, you can go for RPF, you can go for fire prevention, you can go for a lot of things, but personally I go for demolition expert to have some more firing chance. I also personally go for basics of survivability. This is very borderline as a pick, but this is very old build from the Hindenburg. So this might not be that viable, honestly. Maybe you should switch this for jack of all trades and preventive maintenance, honestly. So this is very flavor. And then you go for expert marksman, because these turrets are not that fast to turn. And finally, I mean, expert loader. I mean, you take expert loader even before expert marksman, because expert loader on Hindenburg is very useful, because if you want to switch from HE to AP in half of the time, you can do it, and you can block people giving you broadside, aka that's how. Yeah, I don't see too many other options that you can go for. I mean, this you can happily switch for this and this. This is entirely up to you, but I don't think that you either need fire prevention or RPF on Hindenburg. You're not, even if you have RPF, you're not going to be able to spot anything, because you don't have a radar or anything useful. You just have the hydro, but I mean, you usually don't need RPF to efficiently use your hydro. Fire prevention, once again, Hindenburg problem are not HE spam. I mean, it can be, but usually it is high caliber BB shells, so this is not gonna benefit you too much. So yeah, let me talk about, well, flags first of all, and then we can take a look of the armor scheme of the Hindenburg. So here, same as usual: heal, speed, faster consumables, more firing chance, and well, some more AA. But once again, Hindenburg AA is very pitiful, so you can go for this one, but do not expect to have any kind of decent boost. Then you can mix up detonation or reduction in fires, or I don't know, reduction in floodings. This is entirely up to you. These three and these two are not mandatory, but highly recommended. AA flag, all the others if you want. Let me talk about the armor scheme of the Hindenburg really quickly. So as you can see, Hindenburg is quite armored. You have 27 millimeters of nose and 30 millimeters of deck armor and armor belt. Plus you have also a turtleback, as you can see here. You have the citadel is shaped like that, so it is above the waterline. Okay, it is kind of an angled citadel. It is all similar to Zhao angled citadel in this sense. But you have also this turtleback. Okay, you have this turtleback that, as you can see, it is quite angled. I mean, not that angled in the sense that it is it protects you from at close range, especially if you're not turning. But from long range, you can absolutely get citadel. As you can see here, then the turtleback is not complete. I mean, as you can see, there is this gap here. So if you get some plunging fire in this specific area, in the central part, not in the front part, you can absolutely get wrecked. I mean, for example, these Yamato shells landed in the end landed here, and because I was turning like that, they landed basically here, and it was still a 1 or 2 citadels, and they got deleted basically. So don't expect your turtleback to be foolproof, in the sense that if you are fighting at close range, yeah, it can work. If you are being shot at from medium to long range, like nowadays it is the usual stuff, this turtleback is not gonna be that effective. You always have to angle to avoid taking citadels, but you're gonna eat a lot of penetrations, because as you can see, Hindenburg is a huge ship. It has a huge superstructures, and yeah, I have a hard time recommending Hindenburg being useful in randoms nowadays, especially because of carriers, but not only. Once again, do I love the ship? Yes. Do I think the ship is well designed? Yes. Do I think the ship fits in the current meta? Absolutely not. So, guys, this was my Hindenburg commentary. If you like the video, leave a thumbs up, leave a comment down below if you have any question, or if you want to leave your impression of this video. Subscribe to the channel in order to support me as video content creator. I will leave you my link to Twitch and to the Discord in the description of the video. And once again, thank you for watching, and I will catch you next time.